Hello everyone, I want to thank you guys for 20,000 subscribers. I could not have done it without you guys. It truly is a blessing to receive so much support. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, like really from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Before this video starts, Bandai, I love Sparking Zero a lot. This is not a video talking bad about the game. This is just covering ongoing problems with Sparking Zero. Again, I love the game. I'm not talking any crazy nonsense. Let's talk about balancing, because this is probably the biggest topic when it comes to Sparking Zero. I'm an Ultimate Gohan main, Gogeta main, Kid Buu main. I personally don't think fusions are the main issue when it comes to balancing. The only thing I could see is that they do more damage than the rest of the cast, with the exception of Z Broly. But on average, yes, fusions do the most damage. They do. If we're talking about 1v1s, the best character is Jiren. Here's a get off me tool, instant sparking, great speed, great defense, unblockable all, good neutral game, good combo game. He has everything. The rest of the characters just have one good stat and the rest are good, but overall Jiren just has the best stats overall. One of my mains is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in ones, yes. Although he does have instant sparking, his ultimate isn't unblockable. Although he does have Wild Sense, you have to pre-activate Wild Sense before engaging in combat. Wild Sense is a very good mechanic. But Jiren has a get off me tool and he could use it whenever. When he's getting hit, when he's not getting hit, and he could reposition. It has no counter, whereas Wild Sense has many counters. The best one being block into perception and to assault vanish. But if you're near Jiren or hitting him, he can activate it on command. Again, Jiren has everything. Don't get me wrong, Gogeta is top tier, but he doesn't have a gimmick like the rest of the top tiers. You have MUI Goku as auto dodge. Jiren has everything. Vegeta Blue has full power, as well as being a fusion, and he has great damage. He skips key management, which is one of the most important aspects of neutral. Again, Gogeta is top tier, but not as broken as people make him seem to be. Balancing, I understand people want their mid-tier characters to be able to hang with the top tier characters, but please ask yourself if Gotenks is hanging with Jiren. Like, let's be honest. In my opinion, I would like for them to add a game mode where everyone has the same health and same damage. That way nobody can complain about damage or health bars. But recently, I've been going crazy with Ultimate Gohan, and I'll say it's pretty easy dealing with top tiers, especially if you're better than them. I fought Fusions, Broly, Jiren, Beerus, and it's been pretty easy dealing with them. You just have to adapt and play smarter. They're also extremely easy to super counter since you can mash super counter, except Broly obviously because he attacks slow, but the rest they attack decently fast, you could just mash it. But Bulma isn't beating Beerus. Like, don't be surprised when your Hercules losing to Whis. Now you're on Twitter crying about nerfs. Like, please be honest with yourself. Servers, this one confuses me. Any server guru in the chat, please let me know how this works. When Sparking Zero dropped, it had over 100,000 players on Steam or PC, and the servers were perfectly fine. I rarely ever ran into laggy opponents or lagged myself. But with the last update 2.0, I've been lagging almost every game. I'd say 70% of the time. I'm confused on how when we have less players, on average 20,000, that we lag more compared to having 100,000 on launch. Why is that? Why are we lagging more with less players? Like, I don't understand. Can somebody please tell me? I do know on PC that there are players who like to lag switch, like the Z rank player. If you look at this clip, you see it lag freeze whenever I go into a vanish battle with him, but it only freezes or lag when it's my turn to vanish. Bandai needs to start punishing people who leave games or just lag switch. Give them a shadow ban, but don't just ban them. I don't think you should ban anybody who just leaves games. Just raise their disconnection rate and also make it so that you have to accept games manually rather than it automatically putting you in a game. Kind of like a system like Tekken 8. I walked away from my PC and that's exactly what happened, is they just automatically put me in a game and I'm just D-ranking with no idea. But Bandai, please, please, please ban the Z player. Please ban him. He's a known lag switcher and a DCer, and there's a bunch of Z players who DC, leaving, lag switching, all of that. I know it might be hard to deal with lag switching, but please deal with people who leave. But specifically this guy though. Everybody complains about this guy. If you're on PC and you're high ranked, you definitely complain about this guy. He is a lag switcher, 100%. And he lag switches on every single person. It's not even funny. And super counters. This topic kind of drives me insane, but let's talk about it. Everybody is talking about super counters. That's the most popular defense mechanic in the entire game. People want nerfs. People think it shouldn't be touched. Some people think it's extremely hard. Some people think it's too easy. You got controller players saying it's easier on keyboard. You got keyboard players saying it's easier on controller. You got controller players trying to beef with keyboard players. You got keyboard players trying to beef with controller players over which is easier, which one's harder, yada, yada, yada. Honestly, all of you who are beefing about controller being easier or keyboard being easier, please stop. It's honestly lame. Like, that's something people used to do in like Fortnite. Nobody, trust me, nobody cares. It's not that deep. Just play on what you're comfortable with. Please stop trying to beef over you know, what somebody else's preferences over playing the game in terms of controller, keyboard. It's not that deep. Super counters, I have no opinion. I like the way the system is now. If they want to nerf them and make them harder, go ahead. If they don't want to nerf them, go ahead. I don't know why everybody's so pressed about super counters. I don't think they're too easy. I don't think they're too hard. I think if you put practice in, it becomes easy like anything. But I don't think it's like nerf super counters. But again, if you want to nerf super counters, go ahead. I had some people in my comments talking about how they should use revenge counters to replace super counters. But revenge counters is like, you just press one button when you're getting hit. With a super counter, it's like you input a button and you have to time it and everything. Revenge counters is just you press it and it just comes out. Super counters, you at least need to time it. And they're also more rewarding. And super counters are not as good as you guys make them seem to be. You don't gain anything out of super countering besides winning the engagement. With vanishing, at least you gain a stock bar. Right, you gain something out of it. Super counters is just like you hit them and then it could lead into an advantage battle, but what if you have no key, right? Like what if they just rush you right after and you just get hit again? You're going to take damage. At least with a stock, you could do more off of that. You could change the game more off of that. Don't get me wrong, super counters are game changing, but it all really depends on the scenario. I think vanishing is more rewarding since you gain something off of it for vanishing, but then again, you do lose something, so it's kind of like 50-50. But I honestly, if you wanted my honest opinion, I think people are complaining way too much. I think people are complaining way too much. I think this game is just a bunch of complaining. I think people just want to be hand-fed a bunch of things and they're just complaining because they don't want to adapt. I think that's the huge problem, that nobody wants to adapt. Everybody just wants to be hand-fed. Because this generation that we live in now towards the gaming, it's like we live in a generation where it's like, if I can't deal with this, nerf it. That's how it is, you know. Like back when PS3 were out, whatever, they weren't really releasing updates, and the only time they really did is to fix like bugs in the game. Or like early PS4 is like bugs in the game. Now it's like the generation we live in now in terms of gaming, it's like, I can't deal with this, nerf it. I can't deal with this, nerf it. Oh my god, bro, this isn't working, buff it. This isn't working, buff it. Like I think it's honestly annoying how people just can't adapt when it comes to games nowadays. I can understand if like Broly hits you one time, you go flying across the map and you're like instant dead, then yeah, that probably needs a nerf. But you can outbox Broly, you could outbox Gogeta, you could outbox any character in this game. You could outbox, even with Hercule and Cyberman. I see somebody hit Z with Cyberman. Y'all, I feel like a lot of people are just making excuses, and I don't know, man. Me, I've used Ultimate Gohan, I used Kid Buu, etc. Facing top tiers, and I don't think they need buffs or nerfs or whatever. I mean, like, it would be cool if they got buffs, but honestly, like, Kid Buu is not beating Beerus and Jiren. Like, I know that. Like, I'm not gonna go on Twitter crying, Kid Buu needs a buff, blah, blah. Kid Buu is one of my favorite characters of all time. I know he's not beating Jiren. Duh, like, he should be losing to Jiren. Y'all are asking for balancing in the most unbalanced anime. Like, these dudes get a new form every single second. It was Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, Black Frieza. Like, it's like, obviously, like, it's like Hercule's not gonna beat Super Saiyan God Goku, like, obviously. But y'all keep asking for nerfs, and it's like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, you're playing Dragon Ball Z. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I upload daily. I hope you guys had a really good Halloween. Again, I stream every day. That's TYMIERR, timer with 3 R's. And you guys have a really blessed day. I love you boys. Peace.